Hello, everyone. Welcome back. So, starting with the discussion for ANI Surat chapter. So, Mr. Bhavin Gajjar is going to be the moderator for this event, and thank you everybody for joining. Over to you, Bhavin.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. I'm Bhavin. I hold 15 years of experience into the industry. I work as an agile coach with the Innopet Solution LLP, uh, and I usually take care of agile transformation practices within organization, and as well as I help other organizations for the transformation. And I usually conduct seminars, workshops, and meetups for the agile and related topics. And we have our panelist Prajakta Patwardhan. Okay, so Prajakta, if you can introduce yourself.
Sure, thank you. Hello everyone, thank you for joining in. So, myself, Prajakta Patwardhan. I have 8+ years of work experience with IT industry. So, I've mainly worked on agile projects, and during this tenure of mine, I got an opportunity of working in the telecom domain and the healthcare domain. And my current work engagement has given me and is actually continuing to give me opportunities to work with multiple domains at a time. And personally, I like exploring new things, so be it places, culture, or technology. So that's me.
Okay, welcome, Prajakta. Next we have is Jigar Shah with us. So welcome, Jigar. Jigar, if you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, thank you everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thank you ANI India and all the participants for providing this wonderful opportunity to connect with you all on panel discussion. My name is Jigar Shah. I am currently working as System Manager in Silvertech Technologies at Surat Municipal Corporation. I am a project management enthusiast and completed certifications of PMP, PSM1 and PSM2. I have 16 years of experience and work with various size organizations starting from startup till the MNCs like TCS. I have worked in multiple geographies and various culture across the world, and I firmly believe in servant leadership and follow the same in my day-to-day practice. That's me.
Thank you very much, Jigar. Okay, and we have Harshit Sharma. Welcome, Harshit. Okay, if you can brief me about yourself.
Yep. Thank you, Bhavin. Thanks, ANI as well for providing this opportunity, and thanks everyone for joining this. Myself, Harshit Sharma. I'm working as a program manager at CasePoint. I have around 15 years of experience in this IT industry, and having an extensive experience as a project manager as well. So in my I have experience in the e-discovery and the e-learning domain as well, where I am leading the agile transformation and the agile projects. I am CSM certified as well as I am Safe Agilist certification done as well. So that's me.
Okay, thank you very much, Harshit. Again, I welcome everyone for this session. So today's session topic is need of agile transformation for the businesses. I've seen that so many organizations they are claiming that they are doing agile. Okay, but many times I have encountered a situation wherein they could that they have adopted agile or they are doing agile, and they are saying that we have done agile transformation. But I've seen that the agile has been implemented with their development, like their projects are getting developed using the Scrum or Safe or maybe Kanban or something. So that's why the need of this discussion is arise, like what exactly the agile transformation is and why the businesses are having need of it. So let me open up a discussion with this topic, and the very first question to Harshit. So Harshit, if you can just highlight or brief us, like what is agile transformation and why it is need of the day.
Yeah, so that's a very good question. I mean, nowadays agile is buzzword, and according to me as well, what is agile transformation for an organization is it is a kind of process for an entire organization to shift their culture or to mindset to the agility. So what exactly agile is, to to ability to move and think very quickly and easily and rapidly. So that's where it is a organization wide process for helping the individuals and the organization to undergo the necessary mindset shift for the getting the agility, and that to the implement the principles of the agile. So this is what I believe as agile transformation for an organization.
Yeah, thank you. Uh, Prajakta, if you can share your thoughts.
Sure. So for me, agile transformation is the modification to the way a business reacts to the frequently changing needs and the requirements of the client. So agile methodology basically provides the flexibility in a way that if there are any client changes suggested at any stage in the development, the same can be incorporated without any difficulty, and this saves efforts in terms of time and money. So this methodology also lets the client check and verify, or rather approve, the small chunks of code and functionality. So I feel that this is a very strong methodology, and it should be implemented in every kind of organization.
Thank you. Jigar, if you can share
Yeah,
your thoughts.
actually, Prajakta and Harshit has covered most of the topic. I just summarize agile transformation for me is to make organization nimble and lean by eliminating the waste. It helps make more profit with less risk, which every business to nowadays keen for. For the business, profit is the main thing, and agile provides that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I came across one sentence when I was reading some blogs. So Steve Denning says agile organizations are connecting everyone, everything, everywhere, all the time. So yeah, it's not just about, by having this conversation, I can derive that it's not just about implementing a process, but it's like starting a movement to achieve agility throughout the organization.
Yeah, exactly.
With this, yeah. So with this, my next question to Prajakta, what should be the strategy for agile transformation?
See, any change in the beginning is not easy. So, first of all, setting the mindset to accept the change, it is very, very important. Having said that, talking about the strategy, there are a few strategies which I feel would be helpful for the transformation. So, first one is the timeline for achieving certain key milestones. So, for that, every organization who wants the transformation should first set some kind of goals, some short-term goals, and then timeline should be decided accordingly. Then the next strategy is organization should decide where they would like to see the quick wins first. So that would help them to gain the confidence, and that would help them to learn the new approaches. The third thing is the technology. So they should first check where current technology stack is, and what kind of end results they want. So based on that, they can decide what technology they will be using. And the fourth point is processes and the communication strategy. So once the transformation is fixed, like once they have decided, yes, I want the transformation and I want it to be in this way or in this domain, so they can then set up the processes and the communication strategy.
All right, Harshit, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I think I agree with most of the points covered by Prajakta. So it's mindset from the top management as well. So how I have done in my previous organization regarding the agile transformation is I led that agile transformation where I first take the buy-ins from the top management, where they need to start understanding what exactly agile is and how it is going to benefit to the organization as well. And then once we are ready, I think one has to look at the current status of their working workflow processes, product performances, roles, and everything, and then to done after having this analysis and gap analysis, we need to define the roadmap for what needs to be built. Then we need to take on the small set of team or area from the existing organization where we can run a pilot with the mini transformation, and then we need to again check that whether it is giving the benefits to the organization or not, and then we need to plan the entire strategy to roll it out across the organization. This will give a high level strategy and a roadmap to the top management as well. And along with that, we need to look at the training and coaching as well, because I think this requires a lot of training, mentoring, and coaching at various levels as well. So this is what I have experience with my previous organizations. So based on that, I can say this should be the strategy for a successful agile transformation.
I second Prajakta and Harshil both. Actually, agile transformation is a cultural shift which is incremental. As I have read somewhere, Ken Scuber also mentioned that he estimated 75% of organizations using Scrum not succeeded in getting the benefit they hope for, because they hope extra benefits and in a very faster cycle. Whereas agile transformation is a incremental. It is a journey we need to take, but every top management thinks that it should give them a instant result. So rather we need to make a strategy where even top management see the small low hanging fruits, so like they can start seeing the benefits with small benefits initially, and then it goes to the bigger one, so even they are convinced that yeah, this strategy is working for us. If we give them if we say them like, okay, we are going agile and you see the results in very soon, and then we are not able to deliver that, then top management will think that they have taken the wrong decision. So the strategy should be we need to make a strategy keeping all these point in mind, and you need to use the case studies of other companies who have successfully converted to agile. We need to take help of external coaches who can explain this everything to the top management and take their buy-in by giving them an example where they have succeeded in agile transformation.
Yeah, absolutely. So I agree with Jigar. Like it should be an incremental process towards to achieve agile transformation. And adding to that, maybe at the end of the each increment, we need to follow the inspect and adapt methodology. So we need to retrospect ourselves and derive the action items for the further increment. So that will help us to achieve agility in more better way.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So with this, my next question to Jigar Shah, that which are the factors for agile transformation?
I think for me, there are three main factors: people, process, and tool. Processes means framework, like what framework is suitable for you. Then creating a safe environment for the people, so that I coach them, mentor them why we are going with this. Using a tool to the extent that it will not make it a cumbersome process. Rather than tool should help team to reduce their effort. Tools should not be the burden on them. That should be one thing. Then process and framework, because agile has provided you the multiple frameworks, and every team has different approaches or different needs. So that needs should be taken care. Like in my previous organization, I was working with a complete scrum process. In my current organization, I have to go with a Kanban process, because that is a need of the day. In my current organization, we have to deliver a new product in within 3 or 5 days. So something I cannot go with the sprint cycle and everything. So I have adopted Kanban in this case. So this kind of things, these kind of factors, organization has to look for that what exactly they want, where their team stands, where their maturity stands. If the maturity is at a very low level and they are into the what you say transitional waterfall model, then the strategy should be keep them out slowly, as showing them the benefits of process and framework, showing them how agility or how scrum framework can help them out. And again, in a tool case, most of the companies, they start using Jira or some tool and they think that they have been agile. but that is not the case. Using a right tool at the right moment is more required than putting a tool to the team who is not, it's not, they feel that this is a burden on them. They feel that they're becoming non-productive by just making entry into the tool. That should not happen. I think, yeah, I covered that. Yeah.
Okay. Project, if you would like to add, or what is your opinion in this?
Uh, yeah, so yeah, I totally agree with what Jigar said. And apart from that, I feel that organizational structure is also one of the points. Like if the team is spread across the globe, or the location of all the employees is not same, so in that case, it becomes little bit difficult to, get everyone on the same page, on the same call, and then to, grow the chemistry between them. So that is one of the factors which has to be taken care of.
Yeah, I agree with you. Harshit, you have any opinion?
I think most of the factors I mean covered by Jigar and Prajakta. I am agreeing on to those part. Those are very crucial and important factors. But from my perspective, if I can look at something more, that is something regarding the leadership, because it is one of the factor that can turn agile transformation to the failure or maybe to the big success as well. Because if you look at organizations leadership, right, if they are not walking to the walk and practicing the agile mindset, then the rest of the organization won't do either as well. So maybe see, leadership improves the company's prospect. They see the bigger vision. They strategize those things, and then they are planning. Even they are having the the responsibility to add money, time, people to the organization as well. And so that's where it will be resulting in adapting the agile very easily. So that is one of the factor which we can say that is impacting on this agile transformation really very well. The other thing what I can say is culture as well, because culture is again the most influential factor, and which is very difficult for an organization because it takes a lot of time to develop into the organization. It takes years for that as well to build up a culture. So let's say an organization which is working traditionally onto the project management practices, and they are having their own culture, so which takes a longer period of time to shift that culture from this uh, traditional approach to this agile thing. And agile works very appropriately within a collaborative and team based culture. So that's where we need to management or maybe leadership team needs to focus on to building up a collaborative and team based environment as well. Then it will be easier for an organization to adopt this agile transformation. So
Absolutely,
I
Harshit.
think,
The leadership play a very crucial role because the leaders actually they influence their subordinators because the people follow the leaders. So agree with you on this. So the next question to Harshit, that which are the challenges you see in the agile transformation process?
okay, yeah, so based on my experience where I am, we are doing the agile transformation shift, is where your top management or the leadership are not having that much interest, which I can say that. Uh, if without leadership buying, I think it will be most difficult one to get into the agile transformation or maybe the successful agile transformation. Because as I said earlier as well, everything is in the hand of leadership. If they doesn't want to put more money, time, or people for this transformation, then it won't be possible. And as I said, this transformation is a very lengthy process, so leadership team has to be very patient about this, because it is not a 1 or 2 day step, or maybe not within 1 month you can get the ROIs and everything. So that's where they need to support the team who is implementing throughout this implementation or transformation process. And apart from that as well, let's say if the leadership in between changes, and let the previous leadership is believing in this transformation, and the new leadership which comes, they are not believing in that, and they might derail this transformation as well. And they are agreeing with they are don't agreeing with this decentralized structure as well. So that's where it also impact to the agile, your agile transformation. So according to me, I mean, this is one of the challenge which I faced.
Yeah, in my opinion, I feel whatever you said. On top of that, I'll say like doing agile uh, just for the sake of doing, just because like other are doing, and that's why we have to start doing it. So I think that's where a challenge will come. Like we are not knowing what exactly we need to do, or what
Exactly.
exactly we would like to achieve as in part of agile transformation. So that would be one of the challenge I foresee. Jigar, what is your opinion on this?
Actually, yeah, on top of it, what I feel that creating a safe environment for everyone is the most challenging part. When you coming from a traditional environment, and when you say you are going to agile, the first thing in a middle management like project managers and all, they think that, oh, now we are not required, and they try to derail the whole transformation, because they think that once the agile comes in, we'll be kicked out. So that we need to create a safe environment over there. And then in the team members also, it's like they think that with the new changes, if we are not adapted to the new changes, then we'll be thrown out, or will be, our appraisals will not be good. That kind of negativity should be removed first when you are going with the agile transformation process. You need to make sure that team understand that this is for the betterment of their own as well as the company. So that basically, as everyone, as Ken Shubar and everyone mentioned, that agile is a product of collaborative effort. So that collaboration word should be imbibed into the culture of the company, so that everyone feels safe over there and work towards the or commit towards the goal of the organization.
Yeah, absolutely. Prajakta, you have anything to add?
Yeah. So, uh, according to me, what I have experienced, the uh, failure of agile transformation is also caused because of the failing to communicate vision and strategy for the agile transformation is not proper. So see, if as we say, agile is a mindset. That is, if we say that we are implementing agile transformation, that means we are changing our mindset. So it is not just a simple change, it is a change of the DNA of the company. So the way the employees think, they work, they implement the processes, everything needs to be changed. So for that, the leaders and the executives should be on the same page. So they should have the same understanding about agile, about what they want, about the goal, about the end results, everything. Unfortunately, what I have seen is at times this is not been the case. So this leads to the failure of the transformation. Like everybody is trying to reach the goal with different approaches. So this is in turn resisting the change altogether. So this leads to the this leads to the failure of the agile transformation. And the other point is, once the organization has decided, right, we want the transformation, we are going ahead with this approach, and then okay, the processes start, everything starts. But the results are not communicated to the higher management properly. So there is again the communication gap. So this also leads to the serious problems, like whatever issues the team is facing, those are not properly taken care of. And even if in case the team communicates the issues properly, if the higher management is not serious about the transformation, and if they don't take any action, then again everything is in waste. So the communication right from the beginning till the end is very, very important point for the successful transformation.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Addition to this, what I feel is proper human resource or people should be placed in who are aligned with the agile mindsets. If they are not there, maybe sufficient team members are not there, or maybe there are more than the capacity. Then maybe there will be chance of failure of the agile transformation. And apart from that, I feel that instead of understanding the customer need or uh, and trying to prove organization in terms of the technical work or in terms of a process improvement, if organization is trying this way, then maybe there is a challenge to have a successful agile transformation. Okay,
Yeah.
next question to Prajakta, that is, what all things we need to take care in order to prevent the failure of agile transformation?
Right. So, as I mentioned for the previous question, communication. So, this should be strong. It should be improved. The processes that we decide, uh, that should be proper. So, it should be in alignment with what we want. Then the organization should have clear goals. Everybody should be on the same page, and everybody should be aware of the end results. And we should have a good agile practitioner, so who can guide us throughout the process. So these are the points which I can think of, and which I feel will be helpful.
Okay, Jigar, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, for the things we need to taken care of is basically the wrong interpretation made by top management. As most of them start their agile journey at top management, most of them start their agile journey by reading the book by Jeff Sutherland, The Art of Doing Double the Work in Half the Time, and start thinking that going agile will get them 100% result with 25% staff, which I guess every one of us has experienced. That management coming and says that okay, we are going agile, and then I need the results in very short time with a better result with a very less resources. So this is something we need to avoid at the very first stage. When we want to start a transformation, we need to take buy-in from the leadership that this is not the case. Like if you have read between the lines of the book and what you expect, that might not work in that way. And the other challenge I need to look into that is most of the organization, when they go for a transformation, they do the big bang approach. They ask every team to start agile practices without taking team buying or coaching them. So teams started taking sprint planning and other things as a zombie method, or as something which is pushed on them, and they don't take it seriously. The crux of that, or the main purpose of the agile, will be killed. It just become the mechanical process that everyone starts following, and because of that there is no result coming out of it. So this is something needs to be taken care of in the case of if you want to avoid the failure of agile transformation.
Yeah, absolutely. Even we should celebrate whether it's a failure or success. We need to celebrate
Yes.
it, and we need to inspect and learn from the failure if it is a failure, and if it is success, again we get some learning from that, like how we achieve the success and how we should continue or what sort of improvement we can do in that. Harshit, would you like to add anything?
Uh, yes, I think both Prajakta and Jiga covered majority of points, and I completely agree on to those part as well. And as you said, I mean, uh, organization needs to start reacting on to the retrospective points as well, where whatever improvements points are there, they need to start acting on to those parts, to just uh, continue with this agile transformation. If they don't look at that level on the retrospective points, then it might get failed. So being an agile implies that being responsive to the changes as well. So learning while we are executing these things. So failing fast and fixing faster mode is implies to the cover up onto this agile transformation being a failure. And the other thing which I agreed on to the lack of experience with this agile practice as well. So in my previous experience as well, where we are doing that, so first what we did is like we get to train to the top management and with the leadership team who are going to lead this project for the agile transformation with the agile mindset and some of those tools as well. So that's where once they are agreeing on to that part, and then we bring it that to the large and enterprise level across the organization. So these are the steps you need to take on. And from that angle as well, the organization should not think that okay, nowadays all the organizations are doing the agile, let us do that as well. So there should be clear vision for an organization as well, why we need to bring this agile transformation to our business, whether it is going to be helpful for us and it is going to be give the ROI on our projects as well. Then only they should go, and then they need to build their strategy according to their needs.
Yeah, absolutely. So Harshit, do you think involvement of third-party consultant, or we usually, I have seen that organization hires a agile transformation coach. So do you think the influence of agile coach play a very crucial role into the agile transformation, and we need to take care with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, as I said, I mean, it requires, see, agile transformation requires adequate level of, experience and the knowledge around this agility as well. So let's say if your, first of all, management needs to look at if any of your team members or maybe leadership team are having adequate knowledge onto that part, then they can, start up with that project. Or else they need to, bring in someone who is specialized and experienced in that transformation or the agile concepts. Then they should, work with them. But there are pros and cons of this technique as well. Once bring down the third party vendor or maybe consultant to the team, your mid level management, your top level management has to properly communicate with the intention behind that to the mid level management as well, so that they don't found it wrong, or maybe they don't found that consultants are going on top of them and they are capturing their teams or anything like that. So I think that's a very good idea. They have their own set of processes, experience, tools, which they can bring into the organization, which can help adapting this agile transformation with a proper result and somewhat faster.
Yeah, absolutely. Jigar, I think as in part of agile transformation, the management should give autonomy to teams and the product owners also. So if
Yes,
you
that
can,
is very much, yeah, that is very much required actually, and that is the heart of agility. Because if you if you want to go agile and still doing the micromanagement on the team by saying that okay, no, this is not required, or when the team is working and all of a sudden CEO or someone, which I think every one of us has experienced, that CEO or someone on a higher management all of a sudden pulls up the team member and says like, okay, whatever you're working, stop working that and start working on what I am saying. That brings the that brings to team to the level that team thinks that this agility and all is just a mechanical thing, what our management wants, but basically we are at the same level what we were used to work previously. So that in their mind they think that there is no need of agility, anyways we are going to work the way we were working before. So that is where you need a clear autonomy on the product owner as well as the scrum master. Because the what happens is like most of the organization, when they go into the agile mode, they don't respect the role of product owner as well as the scrum master. They just think scrum master as a facilitator or a person who just manages the dashboard or the charts and things like that, or just a reporting person. And for the product owner is the same thing, that even for the product owner they think that he's just a senior technical member. They think like that. That mindset has to be changed, that this is not the way agile works or scrum works. Scrum requires a certain level of autonomy, where it's like I can quote an example of Mahabharata. When I always believe that Krishna was the first scrum master. Krishna as a can easily if he wants he can easily finish the war in a single day. But rather he did not do anything of that sort. Rather he allowed Kauravas and Pandavas to sort their own things. So in the end, the best person won. So that is where agility stands for. That agility, in agility, if you have powers also, you should not use your power, because when you use your power and you become a hero, then other person thinks that we have a superhero in our team who will take care of everything, and they will never get responsible or committed to the main goal of the product or whatever the work they are working in.
yeah, absolutely. And one point I would like to add, that is, when we start adopting the agile transformation, we used to set up the processes. Now, sometimes these processes also cause some a kind of a bottleneck while doing the implementation of agile transformation, because it eventually sometime cause a delay in terms of customer delivery, or sometime value deliverable to the organization.
Yes.
So with this, yeah, Would you like to add anything?
No.
Okay. So the last question for this panel discussion is like, which are the advantage you see as in as a agile transformation for the business, and what are the disadvantages you see? I would like to open up with Harshit for this.
So if you look at, there are, from my angle, I think, there are more advantages of this agile transformation because this is what we experienced in our previous projects. One of the biggest advantages, customer satisfaction by, rapid and continuous delivery of a useful software. So as with the agile delivery, we tend to, market the things very quickly with the proper quality. So this is one of the better, and we get the customer feedback very early as well. So with the less impact on those things, this is definitely going to help with the customer satisfaction ratio as well. The other thing is regarding the flexibility and adaptability to the team as well. It gives somewhat flexibility to the team where how they need to work, and they can adapt the things based on their deliveries. So these are the advantages I have seen.
Okay, Prajakta, would you like to add anything?
Yeah. So having worked in agile, having worked with agile methodology, I have found that one of the biggest advantage of agile is the processes can go in parallel. Like development is going on in parallel, testing also goes on. So when a developer is developing some code, some functionality, the tester simultaneously writes the test cases or prepares the test plan, test strategy, and then by the time the code of the developer is ready uh, to be given to the tester for testing, the tester is ready with all the artifacts, with all the documentation, and he just has to execute the test cases, and then he has to just mention whether the functionality is working properly as per expectation or not. So this is the biggest advantage that I have seen. The other thing is the changes can be incorporated at any stage since the development and the delivery is in chunks. So it becomes very easy and very flexible that way. And disadvantage, I cannot say it as the disadvantage, but yes, at the end of each sprint, when we check the progress and what has gone wrong, what has gone right, what can be improved, so the continuous things, continuous tracking that has to be done, the report generation and all that, so that is a continuous process wherein we have to be always on toes. So that is the thing with agile. So this cannot be mentioned as a disadvantage because that is what makes agile stand out and it adds the value. So this is what I have experienced.
Jigar, what is your opinion?
For me, most of the advantages, I guess, Harshit and Project has covered. But for me, one main advantage is a team collaboration and their satisfaction. Because in Agile, we are working as one team, so that gives them a sense of unity, and they do the work together and achieve the success together and celebrate the success together. So the bonding improves, and when there is a bonding in the team, productivity automatically goes up. Most of the companies you have seen that HR is doing this team activity, offsite activity, because team get team can gel together. The same thing Agile provides in the sprint in itself, because team working collaboratively and giving them a satisfaction of being one team. And also it helps team becoming the cross-functional team, because what happens is like if you use the pair programming kind of concept, then one person is continuously watching other person if he is doing correctly or not, and then either he's making a test, or tester and developer working together, which is always India Pakistan, as we all know. But in a agile set or in a scrum team, they in pair programming they can work together and brings the result like one person. That gives them a much more confidence in their career also, as well as their progress also. That is the advantages I can see. Though there are disadvantages, what I think, as Agile never provides any disadvantage, but because of the misinterpretation of Agile principles, there are few disadvantages I always see. One is the documentation. because people has interpreted that agile says that no documentation. Agile never said that there is no documentation. They says that with a minimal documentation you have to achieve maximum, but people take that minimal as it's a zero documentation, and zero documentation never helps us, because tomorrow if the team get changes, then there is a technical debt, there is a risk of adding the technical debt, because a new person who is coming in, he hardly knows how the team has worked before, and it takes much more time for him to become a productive. That is one disadvantage I see. And the other disadvantage is more, as like most of us has experienced that when we commit to a sprint goal and at the end we don't achieve the sprint goal, that time in a retrospective we give all kind of reasoning and everything, but most of them must have seen that it could have been achieved easily, but some team member doesn't want to commit on it and doesn't want. When they don't commit on it, if we want commit on something, we won't do it. That's a human tendency. So that commitment part we need to put emphasis whenever we coach the team, that this is the commitment from your side, that you want to achieve this. We are not saying that you will every time achieve it, but at least have a commitment towards it, so that at least you will make maximum effort. Unconsciously you are making maximum effort to achieve that. That is what I feel we can take care of.
Absolutely. As you mentioned about the collaboration, so the collaboration means if we are doing agile transformation, so agile requires endless collaboration, additional time, as well as no greater commitment. If you are not committed, probably it will harm to your agile transformation. As well as I feel that we need to involve, when we are talking about commitment, the commitment is supposed to be from all the key players. That includes the stakeholders, customers, and the team as well.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the one more thing is, I feel that if the teams, by having a lack of processes, sometimes I feel that teams might be sidetracked with their goal, because
Right.
we are defining limited processes in order to achieve higher agility. And if the people are not with the agile mindsets, maybe they will sidetrack with the end result which you would like to achieve. So this would be one of the disadvantage I would see as an from the my perspective.
Yes.
Okay, I think this is all from our panel discussion. Thank you very much, Harshit, Jigar, and Prajakta, for sharing your opinion about agile transformation. Now we can open up with the question answers which we have received on the chat.
Okay.
So let's quickly go through it. Anil has said something like why, what, how, and who. So I think Anil, if you can explain in more detail, or have you just given some input here? Okay, we'll switch to next one. I think he is not available. Okay, so next question is, what are the challenges faced while moving from traditional waterfall to agile? So who will take on this?
I can take that. Basically, when you go from when you start your journey, agile journey, as I mentioned, the first challenge you will get is the fear of removing. So the fear of job. That is one thing I have seen, because when you go, for that matter, when agile says that it's a development team and there is no particular role of tester and business analyst and all that, and then it says that the scrum master is coming in and there is no requirement of project manager, that creates havoc in the organization, or chaos in the organization, that okay, my job will be at stake. So that first challenge we have to remove. That fear has to be removed from the mind of everyone in the organization, that there is nothing like tester will not be the part of the scrum team. There will be a cross functional team. That doesn't mean that developer will be going to do everything. It's not the case. every team requires everyone, and it is a team effort. Still, it's a team effort. So that thing should be there. And another thing is like most of the when we go in a traditional environment, we have seen there is a friction between tester and a developer always. That developer does something and then tester counter it, and there is always a what you say, they think that they are arch enemies of each other. So when you go into this team structure, they feel that I have to work with my arch enemies. How will I survive there? So that again, we need to coach them that this, you are not an arch enemy. Rather, you are working towards a single goal, which is a organizational goal, which you achieve for yourself as well as for the organization. So that should be imbibed. And the fear of new things, like as we have seen that when there is a change in our life also, we resist the change. We don't want to come out of our comfortable zone or comfort zone. We never want to come out of it. And when there is a change like agile, which is a complete overhaul, people think that how will we manage with this? So we need to coach them, we need to mentor them that this is not something we are pulling you out of your comfort zone. Rather, it is to make you more comfortable with your work, with your work environment. That kind of culture we need to bring in.
Okay, Harshit, would you like to add anything?
I think, yeah, absolutely. So Jigar has made a very valid points towards the challenges of, transforming from waterfall to this agile as well. What I have experienced is like, people's thinking ability. So let's say once, people are into the waterfall, they start, thinking in that linear fashion only. That the requirements and the projects are there where we have to, first do the analysis, then, clear the sign offs and then do the development. And once that is done, then it goes to the testing and then to the, production. Instead, they need to, set up their mindset such a way that what are the, activities which can be, parallel, and how they can minimize the, cycle time as well. What is the minimum viable product which actually customer requested or client requested? That need They need to, start identifying those things. They need to, break down those things easily, and then they have to, start shipping it incrementally. So this is the thought pattern which is very difficult and it takes time. For that reason, we required a good coach and a good, scrum master as well, who can, guide the team to, shift their, mindset from this, waterfall thinking to the agile thinking. So this is one of the, things that I would, add into this part.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen people are doing, means from waterfall they have adapted the Scrum or something, and within Scrum they again doing waterfall. In a sprints they start doing the waterfall thing. So yeah, this is one of the biggest challenges, adapting or the changing the mindset that now we are not doing a waterfall, now we have moved to agile, and open up to accept that transformation. Still, I have seen people who are the leading into the industry, they still believe that the waterfall is the working solution because they have worked in that particular manner and they have delivered solutions. But once this means we have started practicing with them, and each and every situation or questions or concerns which they have raised, if they are answered in a proper way, they are convinced with the solution which we are offering, probably it will help us to convert them into the agile mindsets. So this is one of the challenge which I can see. Prajakta,
Uh,
would you like? Yeah.
Yes, yes. So what I feel is if the client wants to follow waterfall model and the organization wants the agile model, so that is one of the areas where again there is a deviation. Like it is very difficult to convince the client, to go for agile model. So that is again a challenging part.
Okay. The next question we have is, can agile transformation start bottoms up or team to top management?
It can work both the ways. It again depends on the culture of organization. Let's say if the organization wants to test the water, then I think it should be bottom up. That first we start with a small team, show them the results, and then explain it to management how that team has performed better than the other regular traditional teams. and then if the management convince, then we can start from top bottom. But it can be sideways or bottom up or top bottom. Again, it all depends on the organization level, with the organization maturity, where an organization currently stands on, and what they want to achieve in a longer term.
Yeah,
So in my, I would like to add something over here, because in my perspective, I think it should be from the top to bottom, because the thing is, okay, if your top management is not ready for this transformation, or they are not ready to take on or assigning the resources, time, money, everything, then it should not start with that. And once they start understanding, then only if we can lead the team, and we can start explaining them about this agile benefits. Even if team, let's say, within a smaller team, if we are training them, and we are having a POC running with that agile as a scrum or maybe kanban, but the end results are not accepted by the top management, then it might again failure. So I think that should be from the top to bottom.
yeah, absolutely. Keeping time box in mind, we have completed our time duration. So I think each and every participant, as well as the each and every panelist, for having such a wonderful conversation and sharing your thoughts. It will be a great takeaway from this session on this topic. Thank you very much. Over to you, Sriya.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to all the participants and all the panelists for a wonderful panel discussion.